Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize there was a limit. I didn't even realize it was only 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't have a phone number, so I can't verify anything. Um, yeah, but anyways, my loves. Um, yeah, second part already. Um, yeah. So again, about Alex. Yeah, so by the time they got to Alex's dad, the bones had you could already see the bones and the organs, and the stomach was also had like a hole in it. So yeah, the stomach acid was also pouring out, and his undigested lunch spilled out. Um, yeah, and so that's with Alex's parents. And at the time, I believe Alex was only about 7 or 8 years. No, Alex was 7 and a fourth, I believe. Yeah, 7 and a fourth. Yes, very specific, I know, but yeah. And now, about 9-ish, almost 10 years later, Alex at 17 is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Uh, I'd say that because Alex is absolutely amazing in school, like amazing. Um, quite intelligent if you'd ask me. Alex's mom actually wanted to be a head surgeon in one of the most prestigious hospitals. Just didn't have the money for that stuff. In fact, Alex's mom could have qualified if it weren't for the fact that she had to stop so young to get enough money for that stuff, but died too early. She was just at the mark of being able to go to that school. All she needed was one less paycheck too. So that was sad. And with father, the father wants to be a scientist, but not with toxic, deadly chemicals and stuff that could have killed. No, he wants to be a scientist that could create new things, new species, new existences, you know, like different plants that could have helped any other way, not to do with toxins that could potentially end humanity. But it was where he got to, and he was proud of that, so he stayed, and he is proud of that. In my AU, let me just say, an AU is an alternate universe. Yeah, so in alternate universe, meaning, I don't know how to explain this, but, let's say there's like an original universe, something where like the creator that even made anything possible was like, yeah, this is what happens. This is what was made to happen by me. No other creation of the story was ever made before this original. Well, now there are different versions of that original universe, and instead, mine's is kind of like I could say it's an original AU, like original, but I'm just gonna call it like everyone else just like says it, alternate universe, and I perfectly fine with that, and I agree with it. So yeah, yeah, so that's the best explanation I could give. Um, but yeah, in my AU, there is heaven and hell, but there's also something called um the torture. In fact, there's also something else called the hallucination room. Those are two different things. The torture room is for people who are so bad to the point where even hell is too good for them. Hell itself, hottest place ever. Too bad. So instead, they go through different universes that have the worst outcomes, and they have to live through that again and again and again, over and over again, with no breaks, no happy moments either. They just skip to every bad moment that ever happens, and it's never the same universe either. In fact, there are some universes where things get really bad, like extremely bad. Some things that you would never want to live yourself. And also in that room, they get to, because most of the people that go there are killers, they get to live through the pain that the victims felt over and over again whenever possible. And there's a switch. The switch is the only choice that they can get. And that switch basically switches between feeling the pain of their victims or going through the different universes. So that's the only time choices that they get. Other than that, pain over and over again. And in hell, you don't need food or anything like that. So they're perfectly fine starving. But sometimes they get force fed. Like, really force fed. I know, kind of weird. But yeah. And then we have what I call the hallucination room. Also what I call fantasy room. Because in this room, you get your dreams fulfilled. But this is more like in the heaven status. Yeah. In heaven, but more like on the higher parts of heaven. Even though there shouldn't even be any higher parts. But it's my AU, so yeah, it's fine. And basically in the hallucination room, it's not like bad hallucination or anything. It's more like things that you want to be real or you need to be real. Even like horror games or like these really scary things or anything. All of that can come true in that room as long as you imagine it. And it can fit everyone, literally. It could fit whole entire universe in there. Because it's that big. Same for the torture room. Of course it has to. And since everyone else is like, oh, there's hell and heaven, on the other hand, there isn't just hell and heaven. There's also Hell-Heaven. This is the place where people who were good on multiple occasions, but were also bad on multiple occasions get to go. Because you can't always say, oh, they're just like, there's a percentage of good in them. So I guess they go to heaven. A percentage more of good in them than bad. Because that is too little for me to accept. They're still pretty bad. So I personally like to put people in Hell-Heaven. Because, yeah, pretty good place to put if you can't put them in hell, but can't quite put them in heaven either. Yeah. So this video is also about to end quite soon, in like 30 seconds. So I'd like to say thank you for everyone that stayed this long in like a 20-minute like full part thing and whatever. There's like 20 seconds left. But yeah, I'm counting. So that's it for now. And yeah. Goodbye, my darlings. I'm gonna see you like tomorrow or something. Bye.